Hello, hello, hello. Happy OPEX Friday, quarterly OPEX today. Super fast live stream. Don't have much time, but just wanted to cover a couple things. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, Heinrich. Good morning, Rich. QT is still, no, quantitative tightening is still happening. Good morning, P. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning. I almost said good morning, PTP. I had Bullard and Wallard speaking already this morning. We have consumer sentiment is the only real numbers we have coming out, and that's 30 minutes after the cash open. And these are the preliminary numbers. Pay attention to the inflation expectations to see if that continues to pull in or not on the short term, and then the 5 year if that stays high. Other than that, the market's in insane mode. Uh, we got momentum yesterday, which shocked me, but we got momentum bars yesterday, and it was like literally a buying frenzy. This is reminding me so much of the .com stuff. This is just so crazy. Max Pain today, there isn't. It's back at 4,400. So I'm more watching to see if this hits the S&P hits 4,500 and then tops out with some profit taking into the long weekend. So that's where we sit. We'll get to that in a second. I'll show you, but there's not a lot of max pain close to here. Besides what's played this morning with the options. These 0-day expiration options are getting psychotic, and I think they're literally going to break the market. Because what can happen on the upside can happen on the downside. Now, nobody seems to care if the market's going up when things get juiced, but if stuff starts collapsing at some point and you get a ton of 0-day options piled in with puts and it starts to unravel, people are going to complain and see that's, again, people don't mind when it's going up. People mind when it's going down. Technology, consumer cyclical, healthcare leading today. Let me just do a quick refresh. Yep. Fed watch is still now 76% for the rate hike in July and holding there. So holding 25 basis points higher until January. Fear and greed in absolute extreme greed based off tons of metrics I follow from like with standard deviations and everything. We are in nosebleed territory. No topping pattern yet, but we're in nosebleed territory, and this generally doesn't continue. We're still in positive gamma. You can see back at 4,400, that's the key pain stuff. There's some minor stuff at 4,500, but there's really nothing besides losing some call gamma. So it's all going to be based off the short-term option plays this morning. Now, being this close, remember there are no earnings today, being this close, 4,480, there could be a push to 4,500. And before I'll be watching if we do hit 4,500 for an afternoon pullback and some profit taking. We'll have a rollover at some point. So here's where we sit. Also, I want to point something out real quick. We've hit that 75% harmonic. So this on a longer term basis is technically could be, not saying it'll ever trigger, but it could be a massive double top pattern. We've hit the minimum requirements. Now, this can keep going up before it reverses. But even if we were, let's say we broke to new highs in this insane market. Let's just pretend it still wouldn't invalidate this potential double top, and look where it takes us. Potentially back to COVID lows. Wouldn't that be a shocker? Wouldn't that be an absolute shocker? Now, could never happen. It's just fascinating. So we did hit that 75. Remember, once we closed above that 62.5, I was focused on that 75. Now, today it's just that 4,500 level. If it continues, then we got 45.34, and then the next major level is 46.21 to 46.45. Pullback, I'm using the prior harmonic area besides anything short-term, 44.32 on a more significant pullback. But other than that, This is just, we're in nosebleed territory. I got to use very short-term stuff. So on the short term, 44.60. Top of the 4-hour rotation zone. And I've been really paying attention to the 4-hour rotation zone. Hit it here, hit it here. You had the dip in here from Wednesday with the Fed rotating up. Another dip in the rotation zone, rotating up. So it's 44.60. What I'll be watching short term. Again, not going to be long live stream this morning. 15,570, then 15,747. Pullback level. Let's just look at that 4-hour. Again, pay attention to that 4-hour. You see the little support bridge here, 15,325. And then major support coming in at 15,225. The Dow also hit the 87.5 yesterday. So remember that closed above the 62.5. Took a while, but finally hit that 87.5. So that's completed the potential area. That doesn't mean it has to stop. 34,915, and then majors 35,230. Pullback area on the Dow, the major is 34,556. Russell still has some room to go. The Russell, what I'm watching for going into next week, though, is if we get above 1916, then make a mini double top. But the next key target is 1938. So that's where we sit there. The notes, there's nothing going on with the notes. Oh, by the way, the 10-2 yield curve, look at that. Completed the double top pattern. Completed and right by that 87.5. So we could hit that today, but we've retested this low area from pre-banking crisis. Dollar index closed below 62.5, so I'm still watching for some follow-through downside, but would not be surprised to see a possible little micro bounce today. But after completing the double, still watching for some more downside follow-through. Crude still sitting in the middle of consolidation. There's just not a lot of good patterns from my perspective. Gold still sitting in consolidation, still watching for the potential double bottom to trigger. We'll have to cover that more next week. Euro completed its double bottom pattern, closing above the 62.5. So any pullbacks we'll watch for buy rotations back up with some more euro strength. So, by the way, this is now getting into triple top territory. So this other is off the pattern. By the way, oh, sorry, I forgot what the dollar index. The dollar index, this now is off the table too, which never triggered. What else do we have? Pound still marching on. So closing above the 62.5, so we could see some still continued upside in the pound, more downside in the dollar. Bitcoin still pausing right there. Let's get to this at the first target. Spiders, slight gap down today, so I'd be watching for the gap fill to 442.60. On any pullback, I'd really be watching the S&P, but on any pullback, 437.50 to 438 is your major support level. Your minor support level is 439.50. Next key target is 447 to the upside. And your Qs after hitting the 75 harmonic, still running up. Next area is 374. Next area, see, we can't even do great harmonics in here. 370, we're trading right at this key little swing high, so I'd use 371.80, and then through that, there isn't much until 374. That's how insane this is getting. Pullback levels, the major support's coming back at 365. There's nothing besides the potential double papping gold. All right. Hey, Christoph. Hey, George. Yeah, they are. It's going in crazy. Good morning, Sterling, with the short-term options. All right. Let's just peek in at Tesla. Then I got to jump. Sorry about that. Workmen are showing up to the house. I got way too much going on that as also with everything else going on, there's too many things. I actually can't even focus on the markets much today. I just wanted to get some stuff out there that I'm keeping an eye on. Tesla. Let's see, we're still 261 is the key resistance, and then if it goes through there, 271.25, key support coming in on Tesla, right about 252, and then 247.50. There just aren't a lot of topping patterns yet. I'm not focused today on major. Even if we get a pullback this afternoon, that would not be a major topping pattern. We'll have to see next week after we get OPEX. But there's just nothing. Nvidia taking the potential double off the table. You were asking about that. Options 22, the potential double is off the table, so there's no even topping pattern here yet. Next target isn't, I'd be watching if this does rally. If we get insane rally again, the next key target would be 450, then 458.29. Other than that, nothing. I mean, that's how nuts this is. All right. So, next week, Sterling for Toyota. Did you see their battery pack announcements? It's going crazy. But here's what I would do if you want to do some analysis. I'd be looking at the retracement harmonics based off this. This was, you can see, is a multi-thing bottom, but the next target would be 171.91, then 182.36. Okay? Pullback would be, look at the 37.5 at this prior weekly support ledge would be 161. Those are the levels I would use without doing a lot more further analysis. It will probably pause or at least pull back at some point a bit, but then I'd be watching the daily rotation zone. Yes, it's quad witching. Mike, isn't 434.62 a right leg? 434.62 in Nvidia. 430. No, nope. It's already exceeded. It's already exceeded the target. So we do not have a potential. Reach out to me if you need to, options, and I'll try to respond at some point. But no, it's already exceeded its key level. Every bear market you win, bull market I get run over. Well, this is getting insane. We'll go over it privately, options 22. I don't have any time right now. Remember, the way I'm doing it is with the reverse harmonics. All right, everybody, trade well. Remember, don't get messed up with quad witching. We can get some interesting price action today. So I shall talk to everybody next week. Bye for now.